We're also in such a mellow mood now. Ooh. And thank you for that other song.
Yeah.
We make people sing so high here on Sunday morning. Higher! No, do higher. Do it again. Some dare look within and see. I love that lyric. Kingdom of God right here. As Carlos tells it, the kingdom, queendom, alldom. I love that term. It's the realm of spirit. Right here, right now. That's what we're celebrating today on Easter. Many of us know that the word Easter is derived from the word for the pagan fertility god, Ostra, or Istra, depending on what part of the world you lived in, as is the German word, Oster. So English and German both have this pagan fertility god as the root of his Christian holiday, which is fascinating to me. But in other languages, the Easter holiday is derived from the Hebrew word for Passover, Pesach. I can say that word, Pesach. Which was the meal that Jesus and his friends were having right before the arrest, the crucifixion, and the resurrection. In Greek, Hebrew, Italian, Indonesian, Norwegian, Polish, and other languages, it's called Pascha, which is a derivation of the word Pesach, and different pronunciations, different spellings, of course. Some of the languages call Easter the Great Day, or the Resurrection Festival, or Separation Day. In Malta, it's called the Great Feast. In Tonga, it's called the Death of the Lord, which sounds a little incomplete to me. And in Estonia and Hungary, it's called, this is really interesting, Taking of the Meat. I guess the Easter Bunny brings salami and chocolates. Chocolates. How did we get a bunny bringing chocolate? And hard-boiled eggs that are dyed different colors from a crucifixion resurrection story from 2,000 years ago. Where did that come from? You go into CVS, you go to all the stores, you see peeps of every color, you see eggs of every color. It's like, okay, this is really... How did that happen? The mythology of the goddess Ostra says that one day she found a bird dying from the cold, so she turned it into a rabbit so the fur would keep it warm. But the rabbit continued to lay eggs. I guess she didn't really finish the process that she was doing there. According to the author Brandy Offset in her book, The Goddess Guide, as a gift to the goddess, the bunny painted and decorated some of the eggs that she had just laid to show her the love and the gratitude for saving her life. The giving of Easter chocolates became popular in 19th century Europe, probably from this story, and quickly spread to this country, probably because during Lent they had to give up sweets. So they were counting the days to Easter so they could eat sugar, chocolate, and all the really good things again. But the most problematic issue that we have in Easter for the Roman government was after Jesus was crucified, there were new Christians who seemed to worship this dead man who was walking around. They didn't know what to make of that. They were very confused about it. They thought once they got rid of this guy, everything was fine, but it was getting worse for them. And they were saying that the people had also become cannibals because they were eating his body and drinking his blood. A misunderstanding of the role of communion, of course, in these new Christian churches. So we have a mishmash of very disparate myths and legends and stories and rumors that we don't really think today is all that odd. Like the Nativity story, they're all kind of whooshed together in a blender. Yeah, sure, that's fine. But when we really think about it, this really is quite odd when you bring all of these together. Easter is the day that Jesus rose from the tomb after 3 days, and we celebrate this Jewish rabbi's victory by buying new clothing, eating ham, marshmallow chips, dyed eggs, and chocolate bunny. Hallelujah. Okay. Sure, why not? Now, in New Thought, which is our philosophy, we don't worship Jesus. We love Jesus as a friend, as an elder brother, as a great teacher who knew his oneness of spirit and said, I have come to do this, to know this truth with you. I really want you to get this, he said, because I'm not going to be here that long. So I really need you to understand God is our Father, our Creator, that what I've done, you can do, and greater will you do when you really have that realization that you're fully human and fully divine as I am. The power of the Easter allegory is in knowing that whatever problems, whatever challenges, life crises, or dangerous events that may seem to be overtaking our lives or change them forever, is really at the core of our being the power of God to take care of all these. That you're not alone without resources to live your life the way that you need to. That the Spirit of God, or the Christ within, the Christ Spirit as we often call it in New Thought, rises up again and again and again. That's the wonderful, powerful story of Easter, that we have the ability to rise up again, to begin again every single moment of every single day, wherever we are. Now, in the past few weeks, I've shared about how our elder brother Jesus, knowing that his time here was almost up, being fully human and fully divine again, like we are, went from being cranky and violent to being sweet and loving, sad and despondent, laughing, joyful, all within a couple of minutes sometimes, as we have. When we are faced with life-threatening challenges, we can get pretty prickly. We get very scared. We get petrified sometimes, no matter how spiritual we think we are. No matter how many Wayne Dyer books you may have, or how many Deepak Chopra CDs you have, we go through this thing called life, and it can be a roller coaster sometimes. Life-threatening diseases, financial bankruptcy, losing a job, the death of a friend, or the divorce from a loved one, a spouse, losing your home, losing a body part, losing your mental facilities. These can be a real death to us. Sometimes worse than actually leaving the body, because we're here and having to deal with them 24 hours a day. One of my favorite teachings is from the Easter story, that section of John that Stephanie just shared with us. Mary has come to the tomb 3 days after the crucifixion of Jesus to prepare the body for burial. She sees the tomb has been unsealed, and she runs and tells Peter and the others, he's not in there. They've taken him, and I don't know where they put him. She goes back to the tomb, and she looks in and sees 2 angels sitting there. And they say, "Woman, why are you crying?" And she said, "Oh, no reason. I was going to go to Macy's for the early Easter sale. Christmas. Whatever the holiday is that we're celebrating right now. And why am I crying? Because I see you instead of Jesus. Why am I crying?" Mary was very sarcastic. Actually, as we heard, she said, "They've taken my Lord's body away, and I don't know what they've done with him." Someone behind her says, "Why are you crying?" She said, again with the question, "Why am I crying?" "I'm crying because it's gone in here." If you, thinking he was a gardener, says, "If you've taken him, would you please bring him back? I need the body. I need to do something." Mary says, Jesus says, "Mary, it's me." Ta-da! Oh my God. What are you doing here? You're supposed to... It's a great story. It's very dramatic, very theatrical. It's really well written, don't you think? It's really very powerful. But it's a very powerful lesson for us. Metaphysically speaking, Mary Magdalene is the intuitive part of you that gets how divine we are. You know, we can come here for a couple of weeks, or you've done the reading of the material. You know you're divine. You know that this is not the end of it, that you are, well, you're eternal, you will continue. However, there is that fully human part we still have to deal with. And it's hard to connect the two sometimes. So we're in the process of knowing fully that we're divine, that we have a power, and yet it is not really connecting quite. I know that God is my health. I hear that every week here, but it doesn't feel like it right now. Anybody going through that right now? It just doesn't. I know it in my head. I know that to be the truth. I'm just not clear how to make that come out of here. You may be going through some really intense pain that you really just can't find a way of stopping it. God is my health. I'm in such pain right now. They just seem to be words. It seems to be a nice affirmation. It's really upsetting me right now. So quit saying that. Sometimes we just get really irritated when we hear the truth. We know the truth, but how does it work? How can I make this work in my life? You know, I'm a big proponent of medication and meditation. Stop the pain so I can meditate. so I can do the work. When I was in San Francisco at the Unity of San Francisco, I got a call to come help dedicate the new meditation chapel at the hospital. And it was really fun to go down there with the other ministers and other clergy in town. And they gave me the bulletin that said, dedication of the medication chapel. And I said to the woman in charge of the whole thing, I said, this is the medication chapel. She said, no, it is not. I made sure they didn't put that in the bulletin. I said, well, take a look again. She went, oh, so it became the medication and prayer room. Sometimes that works. Sometimes you just got to medicate and go with it. And that's the best we can do for the moment. And that has to be good enough. So do what you need to do as you're doing the work. We also know that God is our abundant good, but where the hell is the money? You know, God is prosperous. I am prosperous. I am abundantly, but where's the money? Show me the money. I need the money. I live in New York City. Where's the money? What money is God in action? Great, let me see it. Let me see this action. Come on, help me out here. What's happening? So we have a disconnect sometimes. I fully get that I'm a beautiful, loving, hot child of God. I hear that every day. Anybody would be so lucky to have me as a mate. Yeah, I know that. But why doesn't the rest of the bloody world know it? I put on Match.com. My minister says I'm hot. Yeah, right. I got a lot of likes. Yeah. So where's my mate? What's happening? What's going on? So this is Mary, intuitively understanding it, not seeing it. Not quite getting it yet. Mary knows what her great teacher has told her, but she's so in grief for her loss and overwhelmed with the fact, not only am I grieving, I can't even find his body. What next? When we have tears in our eyes, it's really hard to see what's right in front of us. When it's just the waterworks, we're so unaware, we're not fully present with it. Now, tears and release, these are all important, very necessary part of the grieving process, of course. But Mary gets overwhelmed by her runaway emotions. It's not so much about grieving, but that she's just so overwhelmed by everything, like a tidal wave through where she can't see the truth. I say 9 out of 10 times we aren't seeing the truth, we're not hearing the truth, we're not actually acknowledging the truth right before us, right in front of us here. Our perceptions get in the way very often of what we need to know, and it is right there. In Vietnam, there's an ancient story told about a man who goes off to war and leaves behind his pregnant wife. After 2 years, he returns home safe, and they have a joyful reunion. And in Vietnam, it's a custom when prayers are answered like this, an offering is made to the ancestors at the family altar. So the wife goes to the market, and she gets the food to make an offering, and the husband stays home and gets to know his little boy, who he's never even seen before. The boy says, "Who are you?" And the man says, "I'm your daddy." And the boy says, "No, you're not." He says, "My daddy comes every night and visits mommy." Tell me more. He said, "She cries and he holds her. When she sits, he sits. And when she lies down, he lies down too. He's with her all night long and he's gone in the morning. So you can't be my daddy," he is. The man is crushed. His heart turns to ice. The wife comes home. He doesn't talk to her. He doesn't talk to her the rest of the night. She's, of course, confused, hurt, frightened. What happened to her husband? What happened to this wonderful, chatty, loving man who was just here an hour ago? They do the ritual at the altar, and then he leaves. He goes to the bar, gets drunk, and he does this every night for a week. In the morning, he gets up, leaves the house, gets drunk, comes home late at night, and passes out. All week, she's beside herself because her husband hasn't said a word since she went off to market for the offering. What happened? She's in such anguish over everything, she throws herself into the river and drowns. When the young husband hears the news, he goes home and takes care of his son. At night, he lights the lamp, and the little boy yells out, "Mister, there's my daddy, he's back." And he points to the shadow of his father on the wall. The boy says, "He sits with mommy and lies down with her when she cries and she talks to him." The woman had been alone for 2 years and only had a shadow. to talk with about how lonely she was without her husband and prayed every single night for his safe return. The young husband, of course, was horrified at what he had done. His misunderstanding of the truth completely destroyed his wife's life and his happiness. He didn't say to her, "What's up with the guy who comes to comfort you every night? Explain yourself." And she didn't say, "What did I do that made you change so drastically within 1 hour? Talk to me." The wonderful lesson of this story, and this part of the Easter story we heard, is speak up. Declare your truth. Don't assume anything until you know the truth. Don't kill off your joy when it isn't dead. Claim your good, and if you don't understand something, open your eyes, open your ears, open your heart to the truth within you. Stop moaning, quit crying, quit carrying on when you have the power within you to know what you need to know. And be guided by Spirit within you as to what to do next. Not by your own thoughts, not by what you think you should be doing, but with what you get in your gut, in your intuition. Shake off that paralyzation. We get so paralyzed. We don't know what to turn left, to turn right. We don't know what to do. Turn within. Do we dare turn within and see, as Louis sang earlier? That place of spirit where we need to go, where it's the only place we can get the information. Because you are fully divine, you have that right, you have that access. It's right there. We just need to hear it, to get quiet, go apart, and listen to the truth that we need to hear. We don't have the full picture. We have that iceberg, and we have the top, which we think is the whole truth, and there's that whole rest of the truth underneath it. You have a health challenge. Take charge of your health by going inside and asking Spirit, what do I do about this? You're a powerful, strong creation of the universe. Go to your heart and ask God, what do I do about this, if anything? Where do I need to go? What do I need to know to bring the healing forth? At the core of your being, you know what it is, so get passionate, lift yourself up, and get excited about the healing you know can happen. If you have a financial issue, go to your heart and ask, what do I do next? What's going on here? What am I not hearing? Do I need to do something different? Do I need to do it in a different place? What do I need to know that I'm not quite knowing at this very moment? You are a prosperous being of spirit, and you deserve to be prosperous. That's the truth of you. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be successful just because you're you. No other reason is needed. You're you. You're divine. You're holy. You're perfect. Accept that and watch it begin to come forth. Your heart knows the truth of you. It keeps wanting to guide us, but then we are guided by outside, saying, oh no, here's what I read in the paper, here's what they said on CNN, here's what I need to do because somebody else said, and they know better than I do. Nobody knows better than you do what's right for you. And what about love? How do I find the love I'm looking for? You are a loved, desired, beautiful creation of God. I can hear you going, yeah. If that was the truth, I'd have it by now. You were designed to be loved. You were designed to love. If you were looking for a mate and you haven't found one within 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, I'm going to tell you a really hard truth right now. You don't want one. Breathe. It means there are other things for you to do right now. There are things that you need to do before bringing somebody into your life. Let that be okay. Because you're preparing for it. If you're doing the preparation work, it's good, and then this person will show up when you're ready. But if you're doing the prep work for somebody else, then you need, for yourself, you need to have that time before you bring somebody else into your life. So know that this person is coming forth, that they're safe, they're wonderful, they're loved, they're protected, they're guided to you at the right and perfect time. Because if they're not here right now, it means that you're not quite ready for it. And that's fine. Be good with that and let it come forth. Be okay with this person being in your life. And if you don't want one, that's good too. My friend Terry was saying, what if we don't want, if you don't want anybody, that's okay. That's fine. Friends, pets, family, whatever, I'm good with this. You get to get up and go to bed when you want to do. You get to eat. Great, wonderful. Celebrate that. Celebrate wherever it is you are and whatever you want, because it's yours, and it's yours by divine right. So ask, if you are looking for a mate, what do you really desire? Did you write down your order form? Get a legal pad and write down what you're looking for. Get clarity about what it is you're looking for in your life. What do I need to remember about this? What do I need to know? What do I need to act differently, speak differently, think differently? Am I saying there isn't anybody for me in New York? Well, guess what? They're all in Jersey waiting for you. Again, I say this all the time, and still women come up to me and say, there are only gay men in New York. Well, they're gay for you. They may be heterosexual, but in your eyes they're gay, so you're not even paying attention. You're like Mary crying. There's no straight men here. They're right in front of you saying, hello. Mary, hello, I'm here. Ta-da. Oh, okay, fine, bye. Or there's no available men. Gay, straight, or whatever you are. If you say there's nothing available for me, then it won't be available for you. That's the way it goes. And to find Mr. or Ms. Right, you have to be Mr. or Ms. Right. We get that, yes? Whatever you're looking for, you have to become that. If you're looking for somebody sweet and spiritual and loving and easygoing, are you that? Or are you looking at me like, I don't know. I could be. Affirm that you are. And begin to see that come forth in your life. So again, the Easter story is about the new life within you waiting to begin again. It's a story of spring. It's the story of the wonderful newness of life within you, but you have to declare it and know it to be your truth. Every crucifixion has a resurrection. That is the truth about our universe. Life is ongoing, and even though it seems like your life is over for whatever challenge you're going through, God is at work. Spirit is right here within you saying, here's the next chapter of your life. Are you ready for it? Are you ready to have this new life? Then begin again. It's a new day, a new thought, a new idea, a new feeling, a new word, a new way of doing your life. But it's really up to you to wipe the tears away now and to see it, to really speak up and claim it as your own, to step forward to accept a life that works for you. Take a breath. Close your eyes.